Okay. I'm Bill Reiners. I'll be the installing Grand Marshal today. I had two sons, so I get to do this twice. It may be better than Kim's. At this time, I would call on our Grand Secretary to give us the prologue for a public meeting. Okay.
Speculative Freemasonry is a course of moral instruction, veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. It makes use of the tools of the operative workman to teach its sublime lessons, designed to erect a moral edifice, whereby rough ashlars may become perfect ashlars, and each body a living stone for that spiritual building, that house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. In a day when the multitude of organizations seek to impress their objectives upon society, Freemasonry occupies a unique position. Its teachings are deeply religious in nature, and yet it is in no sense a religion, nor a substitute therefor, and it adopts no sectarian creed. Its charities and benevolences are as well known as they are widespread, yet charity and benevolence are the fruits of its teachings rather than the reason for its existence. It stands for citizenship of the highest order, for enlightenment and orderly liberty, civil, religious, intellectual, yet it is not a political movement and engages in no partisan activity. It seeks to improve the community, yet it is not a civic nor a service club, and it avoids active participation in any type of campaign or movement. It wages war only against the powers of darkness, ignorance, superstition, and tyranny. Its grand aim is to teach, encourage, and inspire those who join its ranks to take their place in society as responsible citizens, each with a genuine concern for his fellow man, to the end that God may be glorified and his children may live together on this earth as brothers. Thus, through the improvement and strengthening of the character of the individual man, Freemasonry seeks to improve the community. Thus, it impresses upon its members the principles of personal righteousness, personal responsibility, enlightens them as to those things which make for human welfare, and inspires them with that feeling of charity or goodwill toward all mankind, which will move them to translate principle and conviction into action. Since that far-off period in the Middle Ages when our operative ancestors erected those noble structures and soaring cathedrals of Europe and the British Isles, our ancient craft has congregated in lodges, each governed by a master and two wardens, and each lodge responsible to the Grand Lodge governed by the Grand Master of Masons and his 2 Grand Wardens. By the suffrage of his brethren, a Grand Master has been called to leadership in this jurisdiction. It now becomes our pleasing duty to conduct the ceremony by which he will be invested, saluted, and proclaimed Grand Master of Masons in the state of Indiana, and by which those officers who assist him may assume the duties of their high office.
Just a word here. Richard Worsba had to go home this morning. When we install somebody, we try to get as many past masters from their area and bring them into this. And he made a gallant effort, and he got here, but he was just too sick this morning to stay. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Grand Marshal.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I here present before you these worshipful brethren who, having been duly selected to preside over and conduct the business of this Grand Lodge for the ensuing year, now declare themselves ready for installation.
Worshipful brother, before proceeding to invest you with the honors and responsibilities of the office to which you respectfully have been selected, it becomes my duty to administer you an obligation of your office. You will rise and repeat after me, giving your full name. I do solemnly promise and swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution, the laws, edicts, and general regulations of this Grand Lodge of the state of Indiana, and that I will, to utmost of my knowledge and ability, discharge the duties of the office which I am now about to be invested. So help me God. Grand Chaplain. Grand Chaplain.
You all be reverently attentive. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who hast made man a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. In thee, O Lord, did we put our trust in days gone by. Thou art still our rock and refuge. Hear us as we acknowledge our human frailties and seek thy divine guidance. Help us to remember that when the strength and wisdom of man fail, there is an inexhaustible supply above, yielded to us through the power of prayer. Grant, O thy great architect of the universe, that this thy servant, who is now about to be invested with the government of our ancient craft in this jurisdiction, may be a man after thine own heart, zealous in thy cause and devoted to thy service. Endue him with firmness of mind and steadfastness of purpose. Give unto him and all of us, we beseech thee, wisdom from on high to direct our steps, strengths commensurate with our task to support us, and the beauty of holiness to render all of our performances acceptable in thy sight. Be thou our guide, O merciful Father, this day and always, that in all our works, begun, continued, and ended in thee, we may glorify thy holy name, and that the institution in whose service we are engaged may be worthy of thy divine favor. Establish thou our work in our hands upon us, O Lord. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it. Amen.
So mote it be. The Grand Lodge will now join in the singing of the hymn, St. Anne.
Most worshipful Grand Master, it is my pleasure to present Right Worshipful Brother Daniel L. Martin, who has been duly and truly elected Grand Master of Masons in the state of Indiana, and now presents himself ready for installation to this high office.
We will now hear the reading of the first lesson.
In that night did God appear unto Solomon, and said unto him, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said to God, Thou hast shown great mercy unto David my father, and thou hast made me reign in his stead. Now, O Lord God, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people, like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this people, thy people that is so great?
Right worshipful brother, by the voice of your brethren, you have been selected to occupy the highest and most exalted position in Freemasonry, an office that carries with it power and authority to govern the craft without direction or pressure from any source. By a moral custom and usage and invocable landmarks of Masonry, you are invested as Grand Master of Masons with the powers and prerogatives well nigh absolute. Yet this office carries with it tremendous responsibilities. Unto whomever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask for more. Thus you will not only rule and govern, but you must be the steward of all. Upon your shoulders will rest the grave responsibilities of seeing that peace and harmony prevail at all times, that the ancient landmarks, customs, and usages of the craft are carefully preserved, and no innovations are allowed to interrupt the peace and good fellowship which must prevail in the fraternity if it is continue to command the trust and respect of all men everywhere. From our knowledge of your zeal and ability, we feel confident that you will discharge the duties of this important office in such a manner as will greatly rebound upon your honor, as well as to the goodwill and prosperity of the craft which you are now to govern. It now but remains for you to be clothed with the insignia of your rank and authority. With a genuine pleasure, therefore, we invest you with the jewel of your office, the square and compass, whose symbolic meaning will have a new and striking significance. Kiss her. And now, most worshipful sir, permit me to conduct you to your chair, where you will assume the gavel of authority and enter upon the discharge of these important duties which now evolve upon you. And may the Father of light and life and love invest you with his choicest blessings.
In the name of and by the authority of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of the ancient and honorable fraternity of free and accepted Masons of the state of Indiana, I hereby proclaim our most worshipful brother, Daniel L. Martin, Grand Master of Masons in the state of Indiana, duly installed in ample form this 19th day of May, A.D. 2021, A.L. 602021, and in the 203rd year of the sovereignty of this Grand Lodge.
Most worshipful Grand Master, upon your most worshipful Grand Master, behold your Grand Lodge. Grand Lodge, behold your worshipful Master. And now join me in giving him grand honors, 303. We will now sing from the tune of Moscow. Lord, our Grand Master, bless.
And Solomon determined to build a house for the name of the Lord, and a house for his kingdom. And Solomon told out 70,000 men to bear burdens, and 80,000 to hew in the mountain, and 3,600 to oversee them. And Solomon sent to Hiram the king of Tyre, saying, As thou didst deal with David my father, and did send him cedars to build him a house to dwell therein, even so deal with me. Behold, I build a house in the name of the Lord my God.
Worshipful Grand Master, you want to proceed in installing your other officers, or would you prefer me to do it?
I prefer you to do it.
They
You're doing a
always
great
say
job.
that. Grand Chaplain, second, oh, I'm sorry. Now we'll have the charge to the Deputy Grand Master.
You had the other charge.
Oh, this one, yeah, right.
You read that.
Oh, yeah. I was planning. Okay, I got work to do here. Right, worshipful brother, the station to which you have been called by your brethren is one of great dignity and importance. It is, in the absence of the Grand Master, you are to exercise his prerogatives and preside over the Grand Lodge. In his presence, you are to assist and support him in all his endeavors. But while your power and privilege are thus extended, remember that they bring with them a correspondingly share of responsibilities. Let the Constitution, laws, landmarks of our craft be your constant study, that you may be better enabled to assist in preserving them inviolate, and ready to exercise the functions of that more exalted station to which you may be called. The jewel of your office is the square. Its use to square our actions by the square of virtue. Receive it and make your seat on the right of the worshipful Master to aid him with your counsel and advice. Get a step ladder.
And it came to pass when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, which hath given unto David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou hast sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar, and concerning timber of fir.
Right worshipful brother, as King Hiram of Tyre came to the support of Solomon in the great and important undertaking, so you are called to stand as a pillar of strength in this Grand Lodge. In supporting the Grand Master, you are charged to exemplify the strength of mind and of purpose, strength of heart and of character. In the absence of your superiors, you are to govern the craft. In their presence, you are to aid and uphold them. We firmly rely on your attachment to the principles of Freemasonry for a faithful discharge of your duties committed to you in your present station and in preparation for posts of greater service. The jewel of your office is the level, a reminder of equity. Its use is to lay horizontals. Receive it and take your station, being careful to look well to the west.
And King Solomon sent and fetched Hiram out of Tyre. He was a widowed son of the tribe of Naphtali, and his father was a man of Tyre, a worker in brass. And he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and cunning to work all works in brass. He came to King Solomon and wrought all his work.
Right worshipful brother, as Hiram the builder was called out of Tyre to beautify and adorn the temple with his cunning workmanship, so do we charge you to behold your brethren as the pillar of beauty, the beauty of harmony and holiness, the beauty of integrity which adorn the spiritual temple we seek to erect within the hearts of man. The prosperity of the institution ought never to suffer for want of leaders, both skilled and trusty. You, therefore, see the necessity of preparing yourself for the high responsibilities that may devolve upon you. The jewel of your office is the plumb, which teaches rectitude of conduct, and its use is to try perpendiculars. Receive it and take your station, being careful to look well to the south. Right Worshipful Grand Treasurer, the office to which you have been elected embraces a trust and great responsibility that you have been called to administer. It is evident of the high opinion we entertain of your prudence and fidelity. Let it be your constant care not to forfeit the least of that confidence. Crossing keys form the jewel of your office, have a twofold significance. They are instruments to bind as well as loosen, to make fast as well as to open. I am confident you will use them only to further the great work of our institution, as your brethren may direct and as our rules and regulations may provide. Right Worshipful Grand Secretary, your office is in many respects the most important in Grand Lodge, excepting only the Grand Master. Placed in a position where you are in almost constant contact with our Masonic brethren, at home and abroad, upon you devolves in a large degree the good name, prestige of the fraternity in this jurisdiction. Let your carriage be marked with the discretion which will at once reflect credit upon the body and you represent. In investing you with your official jewel, the crossed quill, I am persuaded that they will write an enduring record to the honor of the craft, so largely dependent upon your experience and ability. Oh, yeah. How are we going to do this? He knows it. There she is. Worshipful Grand Chaplain, it will be your duty to conduct devotions and exercises at our communications and to perform all sacred functions in our public ceremonies. In all its ceremonial and rituals, Freemasonry inculcates a high veneration of relations and acknowledges our entire dependency upon supporting hand of deity. The Holy Bible, the great light of Masonry, we entrust to your care. And while you teach its holy precepts to your brethren, may your own deportment afford the best example of their vital importance. Worshipful Grand Marshal, it is your duty to issue proclamations, to arrange all processions of the Grand Lodge, to preserve order according to form prescribed, to be ever attentive to the commands of the Grand Master, and always near at hand to see that them duly executed. Skill and precision are essentially necessary to the faithful discharge of these assignments. Worshipful brethren, receive these jewels as an emblem of your authority and enter upon the duties of your various offices. Doug, you've now been installed. Worshipful Grand Lecturer and Worshipful Assistant Grand Lecturer, it will be your duty to instruct the craft, to communicate light, to preserve our ritual and traditions, to stand guard that the ancient landmarks be not removed nor infringed upon. Let it be your special object, then, to see that the glory, honor, and reputation of the institution may be firmly established and the world at large convinced of its good effects. Worshipful brethren, receive these jewels as emblems of your authority and enter upon the duties of your office. That'll be fun. You don't have to kiss him.
Needs to put the ladies on the left hand and get their back.
We talked about that. Okay, we're good. Worshipful Senior Grand Deacon and Worshipful Junior Grand Deacon, it is your province to attend upon the Grand Master and the wardens, and to act as their proxies in the active duties of the Grand Lodge. To you, with such assistance as may be necessary, is entrusted the introduction of visitors to our communications and the immediate practice of our rites and ceremonies in Grand Lodge. Brother Grand Stewart and Tyler, in your post of duty, you will discharge the traditional functions of the Tyler, suffering none to pass or repass without such as are duly qualified and have permission from proper authorities. A prompt and faithful performance will render the best evidence of your attachment to the sublime principles of our ancient craft. Worshipful brothers, receive these jewels as emblems of your authority and enter upon the duties of your various offices. Somebody smells good. It has been written that the music which charms and soothes the savage beast, the works of masonry are barren when it is absent. In supplies cadence for the processional, accompanying the singing voices with harmonious support, and enhances the feelings of ritual by laying a soft melodious tone blanketed under its more lyric passages. Brother Grand Organist, you are charged to share your time and talent with this worshipful Grand Lodge, that the beauty of sound may be blended with the poetry of language, and to render its ceremonies moving and memorable.
In the name and under the authority of
Yeah, do it again.
in the name and under the authority of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of the ancient and honorable fraternity of free and accepted Masons of the state of Indiana, I proclaim the office of this Grand Lodge duly and truly installed in ample form. This the 19th day of May, AD 2021, AL 6021, and in the 203rd year of the sovereignty of this Grand Lodge.
If everyone be reverently attentive. Be reverently attentive. May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace this day and evermore. Amen.
So let it be. Brethren, our national anthem. Through the has been my pleasure and honor to install you as the Grand Master for Indiana 2021-22. Thank you very much for the honor.
Bill.
I thought I was done. Where is it? Okay. All right, everyone here who belongs to his family, would you come forward? Come forward to rest these books. Grand Master. Now we ask that these be tried on beforehand, because when they're not, it becomes a real problem. And you want to get back there. Now, to the inner workings of the Grand Lodge, this is all well known, but this is my first son. This is my second son. I had the honor to appoint 2 men to this office. And one of the things that you'll hear from most Grand Masters is the most important thing they could possibly do is appoint a man better than them. And in both these cases, I think I've done it. That's the other thing, we have families. We get along most of the time. It's all wrinkled up.
I don't think he wants it anymore. Short presentation. Okay. I watched the installation, and I remember the day that I took that first chair over there. It was overwhelming. And I thought, it's going to take forever to get to that chair. But it did not. Calendar-wise, it did, but it was over in the blink of an eye. And I stand before you today ready to take my place back within the craft, to work and support my brothers, support this great fraternity, and support our great Grand Master. Thank you for the privilege, my brothers and my sisters. Thank you so very much. We have a little something different. Brother Grant, Stewart, and Tyler. Present the fraternal torch of light and wisdom. Do we have him come down? Huh? Hey, no, you just, hey, Mike, no, just hold it. Just hold it. Most worshipful brother, we are often admonished that it is necessary that some must lead and others follow. The brethren of this great fraternity have elected you to its highest office, and for a time they will look to you for your leadership. Since the earliest beginnings of the craft, the mantle of leadership has been passed from one Grand Master to the next in an unbroken line of succession. You are now part of this chain of union and the enduring heritage of Freemasonry. Most worshipful Grand Master, please join me at the podium. This torch, symbolic of the light of Freemasonry and styled after the bicentennial torch of Indiana, is now passed from my care to yours. It is emblematic of the guiding light which you must be for the brethren, and it should be your constant care to keep its flame and the tenets of Freemasonry burning in their hearts. Take it with a just hand and let it illuminate your path as Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of the state of Indiana and all the brethren of this Grand Lodge. Finally, Grand Master, as we leave this sacred retreat, to you and all brethren, be you all of one mind, live in peace, and may God of peace and love delight to dwell in us all. Until we meet again, my brother, Godspeed. Thank you, Greg.
Good afternoon, everybody. A while back, I used to, when I would give remarks, I would never write anything down, and my wife Teresa would yell at me for that because I do wind up forgetting half of it. Trouble is, I wrote this down several days ago, and I've thought about so many more things to add to it. And I want to start off by, I want to thank the brothers of this fraternity, not for just voting the confidence in me to lead you for a year, but to give me an opportunity to give back, maybe in a small way, something to this fraternity that has absolutely changed my life. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to know each and every one of you, and I look forward to the leadership role that you bestowed upon me. I would also like to thank my father, Bill Reiners, for somehow putting faith in me I never saw it, but thank you. And I thank all the installing officers for what you've done today. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank so many people. I look out that have come from up north. I could stand here for hours and never convey to you what it means to me to see you out here today. You're special people. You're a big part of my heart, and I love each and every one of you, and that's the truth. I think the world of all of you, as I feel of all of you here. But I'd be remiss if I didn't thank somebody very important right off the bat, and that's my love of my life, my wife, Teresa. And while it's true that this fraternity has made me a better man, it was my love for you and our family that gave me the desire to do it. I also want to thank that young man that escorted me in today. He's not only an honored service member, United States Army, a disabled combat veteran, I'm even more proud to say that he's my son. And I love you, son. I truly do. I want to take this time to thank all the Grand Lodge officers. Congratulations on your installation. I don't have enough time to stand here and tell you what these people do and the dedication that each and every one of them have for this fraternity. It's inspiring to watch them work, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with each and every one of them, and I look forward to a productive year. There's one in particular I need to thank, because without this man, none of this would happen, and that's our Grand Secretary, Past Grand Master Rick Ellman. Without him, this doesn't happen. I could stand here and thank people forever, but I look forward to a fun and productive year, and I think people that know me know that my biggest love of my life is veterans and Veterans Affairs. It's a soft spot in my heart, and I made a comment to my good friend Jimmy Sheets a long time ago. I said, if you think that the Veterans Appreciation Dinner was good, wait till I take it to a state level. Well, we did it. The Veterans Memorial, we're going to dedicate September 12th at the Compass Park Masonic Home Festival. It is under construction. It'll be done by September 12th, and I look forward to a dedication. And our architect is up there, Gary Lawson, that without him, I don't think it would have happened. But I want to thank all my friends at the Masonic Home and everything they do. these things just don't happen by accident. These are dedicated people that really, truly care for you, and it shows every day. Oh, do you? Yeah, okay, there you go. There's the memorial. There's been a few revisions in that. Our architect said take the wall down. It was too much trouble to build, so we took the wall out of it. But everything else is pretty much like it's there. And am I right, Brother Gary, it should be done, you said probably by August? Yeah, okay. I hope that we do have a fun and productive year. I think the most important thing is that we all have awesome responsibilities to carry through. And I trust we'll all do it in an enjoyable way. But the last person I want to thank, and I've saved this for last because I got to explain something. Several years ago when past Grandmaster Coleman was sitting in the East, we had a discussion, and he's a pretty emotional person. But I told him, I said, you have nothing on me. Trust me, I get pretty emotional myself. Am I right, Grandmaster?
You're right.
You know where I'm coming with it, don't you? There you go, buddy. Thank you. The person I save for last is a person I've served with since being appointed to line, and that's our junior past Grandmaster, Kenneth Roy, Jr. We have, it's actually scary how much in common we have. I mean, if you listen to both our stories of our life, you'd think we did come from the same family. He's not only been a great leader, but he's a great friend of mine. He's a man of incredible honesty and impeccable integrity. I can't say enough about you, my friend, and our friendship is very special to me, very special to me. I'd like to thank two other people that have come down here. A friend of mine I've known for probably 40 or better years, Kevin Burkholder and his wife Rainey. Thank you very much for making the trip. I want to thank my neighbor Becky, who's not, she's not as much my neighbor as I love her as my daughter. And I mean it. Thank you, Becky, for being here. It means a lot. And again, I want to thank everybody, and you've heard about enough all these speeches and talks, so I'm going to close it with that and just say that God bless each and every one of you, and God bless our fraternity. And I look forward to serving you. Thank you very much. I could do that. Yeah. Would the officers in line, would you like to introduce your family that are here with you today? Starting with Deputy Grand Master. That would be you.
That would be me. Not used to that yet. I want to thank you for your support of me in this journey, and it has truly been a learning experience and an experience of growth. And I thank all of you because of your love and compassion. And I'd like to thank my wife, Donna, that's last but not least, I'd like to thank our worshipful master from Concord 556, Jim Rosenberry, which is the brother that raised me years ago even. So thank you, Jim, for being here today. And thank you all. Thank you all.
Go ahead, Gary.
Thank you, Grandmaster. Looking forward to working with you this year. I have with me today my wife, Marilyn. And I'd like to thank the worshipful master of Elks Lodge 245, Stephen Douglas, for being my escort.
Most worshipful Grandmaster, it's my privilege to have my wife
Grand Treasurer?
Well, congratulations to all of the officers, and I know you're going, Grand Master, you're going to have a great year. Thank you. I would like to introduce my wife, Paula. This August, it'll be 50 years. And she's followed me all along this trail that I'm following. And I'd also like to introduce my master, A.J. Cooper. Thank you.
And before we get to the Grand Secretary, I forgot to do this, but I'd like to introduce my worshipful master, Harry Workman, from Westville number 192. And our treasurer, David Shepard. Thank you, brothers. Grand Secretary?
Well, thank you, Grand Master, and congratulations to all the Grand Lodge officers. Based on what we've been doing during COVID, we are going to have an exciting year, and I'm looking forward to it. So, the wife I brought with me to this session, and every session, is my lovely wife, Shelley. So, my worshipful master, I knew he was a member of my lodge, but I didn't realize he was going to be my physical therapist for my first knee replacement. So Gerald Parr is up there, and I told him if I had any pain, one push of the button and you're gone. Worshipful master, thank you, and the brethren from Indiana Harbor. Thank you, Grand Master.
Thank you. Go ahead, Brother Tom. That's fine. Chaplain, Grand Chaplain.
First Worshipful Master, it's my great pleasure to introduce my wife. We will have been married 40 years in August. My wife, Nancy. There's very little I could do without her. And then I believe my senior warden and proxy is here, Corey Lemons.
Thank you. Our Grand Marshal.
Most worshipful Grand Master, everyone, thank you. It is a pleasure and extreme honor to serve this great fraternity. At this time, I would like to introduce the love of my life, my best friend in this world, my wife, Shelley. She and I would also like to include in my family, they're adopted, the number one, worshipful brother Dennis Schrader, who's like a brother to me. We've been up and down the road many times together. My adopted big brother, our youngest past Grand Master, Kenneth Roy, and a true father figure to me, most worshipful brother Dennis T. Harrell, past Grand Master, him and his wife. And I would also like to thank worshipful brother Derek Sterneman, who is a very close friend of mine. We served on the Internet Inquiry Committee together. Thank you, sir, for escorting me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our Grand Stewart and Tyler. Now our Junior Grand Deacon.
Thank you, Grand Master. Brethren, it's really feel blessed to be here. I'd like to introduce my beautiful wife, Tammy, mother to our two daughters. Master from Porter Lodge 137 out of Wilbur. Thank you for being my
Our Senior Grand Deacon.
Thank you, Most Worshipful Grand Master, and thank you very much for the appointment. I greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to serving with you. I'd like to introduce my fiance, Mel Ash. She gives me and recognize my worshipful brother, Dick Keller, past master of Temple Lodge 47, who helped escort me in. Brothers, keep the lodge door unlocked and the green beads on, so you'll never know when I'll come see it. All right, Gary?
Our Grand Lecturer, Jackie Ash.
Thank you, Most Worshipful Grand Master. It's an honor and a privilege to take this job again. The lady that lets me do it, my wife, Dorothy. Still here, my worshipful master, he might have went on back there, he is. Worshipful master.
Our Assistant Grand Lecturer, Denny Davis.
Grand Master, I want to thank you for the appointment and congratulate all the officers here. I brought my son, Matthew, worshipful brother Matthew Davis. My master from Acme 83, Scott Baldwin, is up there. Here, and I want to thank everybody from up north coming down. Thank you.
Thank you. There is just one more person I'd like to introduce, probably a man that's probably busier than we are. Imperial Sir William Bailey from the Imperial Shrine Line. Thank you, Bill, for being here. And his wife, Debbie. Our grand organist, Jerry Burns, way up in there.
I'd like to introduce my lady, Sylvia Dragonski. I'd like to introduce my worshipful master, for both he and the senior warden have businesses to run, so they're turn home by now. Thank you, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jerry. And before we go any further, I think we owe our ladies another big round of applause for what they do for us.
If I could just break protocol for 1 second, because we screwed up the first time I had to do this, but I thought you're someone very important to me, and I got kicked about 4 times for forgetting it, so if you don't mind, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce my grandfather, Jack Dukas, who's been probably my first and most important mentor in Freemasonry.
Well, you're lucky, John. You forgot your grandpa, but he don't wear a dress, so you're off the hook a little bit, so you're good there. Are there any other presentations at this time? Okay. Are there any other presentations at this time? Brother Grand Marshal, you will escort the Grand Lodge ladies from the auditorium. And please give our ladies a big round of applause.